ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Friday, March 13th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. We got the oil change, spark plugs checked. Everything's ready to go. We're going to try this again. Yesterday, of course, we had some problems, so we're going to try one more time to hear from Boogie Trotter. We've got comments from him from Pro Day a couple days ago. Also, we're going to get that text line open early, and that's, again, at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We got a lot to get into today. I think I want to talk about, in a little bit, we got the Marshall football schedule, so we're going to touch on that here in a few minutes. And, of course, you know, there are several games. There's a Tuesday game as well, so we'll really go into some detail there. And I want to get into this Louisiana Tech schedule. This thing is just crazy. It's absurd how many games that Louisiana Tech's got to play. 20 games. Louisiana Tech, because of the Sun Belt and Conference USA both releasing schedules, and Conference USA, of course, in its haphazard and, quite honest, Bush League method, just in the middle of the night almost, it felt like, yeah, here's the schedule. At least there's more fanfare with it from the Sun Belt. But now both leagues have released schedules. Louisiana Tech is scheduled to play in the Sun Belt this upcoming season. Louisiana Tech is still scheduled to play in Conference USA. What an absurd situation we've gotten ourselves into. And, of course, we appreciate all the free content, so we'll get into it as well. And, of course, the big one coming out of Charleston, and I hope we can soon get a little bit more detail about what this will mean if we're going back to old rules. But the West Virginia State Senate passed House Bill 4425, just awaiting the governor's signature. And what that really is going to do is just repeal the one-time transfer law. Now, there are proponents and there are people who are just against it completely, because the one-time transfer allowed schools to be able to maybe benefit from kids that wanted to transfer for whatever reason. I'm not even going to go list all the reasons, be it, hey, we're moving, family's got a better job, or you know what, this is better opportunity. I'm a star player, and I'm not going to get anywhere here. If I go somewhere else, there's more opportunity for me. I get to go to maybe a bigger school, or I'm going to get to go to a school where there's some more talent as well, and you know, we're going to be able to be successful. I'm going to be seen. I'm going to have more people look at me, and maybe that's going to open up some opportunities for me at the next level with college. And, of course, you know, name, image, and likeness and everything that has gone into just completely crashing the system over the last few years. And, of course, the WVSSAC has some rules in place as far as name, image, and likeness already. And basically it's like, look, you can't say that we didn't allow you to do this, but you can't come off as, hey, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so. I mean, basically, you got to leave the school and the football and the basketball, the sport aspect of it, out of it. Again, I don't know how many people are really spending that much money on high school name, image, and likeness. I don't know why you would do that. It seems ludicrous to me that anyone would, other than maybe supporting the program and funding the program, hey, we need some jerseys. Can you help us fundraise there? Yeah, we can help you get jerseys. Hey, we need some maintenance on the field. Yeah, we can do that. That's perfectly acceptable. That's great. You know, make sure these kids have a safe football field to play on. You know, the basketball surface, the court, it's, you know, we haven't really updated it in 20 years. You know what? Hey, that's cool. We can chip in on that. Hey, our scoreboard, we can't get parts for it anymore. It's pretty old. It's outdated. Let's spend some money. Let's fundraise. Yeah, I'll donate to that. Let's get those kids a new scoreboard. You know, we can put some, we can make it fancy, a little bit of fancy. Hey, we can do a little video board on that. You know, we can make it fancy for them. Sure, let's treat them right. Let's make the kids feel pretty big. Things like that, right? You can spend that kind of money in high school programs. Sure, I got no problem with that. Absolutely. Hey, let's feed these kids. Really, we're taking this long trip, and we appreciate anyone that can donate to help us, take the trip. Can you help us? We got a lot of big boys here. We got a lot of hungry football players, or whatever your sport may be. So I don't have a problem with people who contribute to high school football programs. Not at all. I would never say that. But then you've got the people that are trying, and this has been going on for years. Let's just go ahead and say it now. There's always been somebody trying to lure a superstar or some high-level talent to their program, to their district, to their area, because the most important thing is that our high school win the state championship. That's it. The image of self-worth has sometimes gotten too far overboard, and people are just spending stupid monies or doing stupid things to make sure that the high school team has the best talent, no matter where that talent's from. And so I do honestly fall maybe on the side of the Senate bill that was passed. I think there are situations where a transfer is allowable, and I think the WVSAC should and would and will put some good guidelines in place, or at least that's my hope. And I'm not naive. There's always going to be someone trying to take advantage of the system. There were people taking advantage of the system now, and there were a lot of schools and programs that didn't have anybody, because a lot of the kids from the area, and maybe there's not that many kids to draw upon for an athletic program to begin with, and so a lot of those kids were like, we're out of here. There are not that many big schools in the state of West Virginia. There are big schools and there are not so big schools. And it's difficult sometimes to be able to get enough kids to come out and participate to even have a sport. And so if you decimate it, for whatever reason, someone wants to leave, if you open it up to a point where it's pretty easy to do so, and not with even reason, it's just, it's better over here, we're going over here, that's going to impact some of the different communities. And so I think this was a pushback on that. I don't know where our particular local high schools fall right or left side of this thing. I don't know. Are you over here or are you over here? But I think I lean toward having some control when it comes to making sure that we're keeping it as honest as we can. I mean, the whole point of high school was I grew up here and I'm going to school here. Now, if you can make the argument that leaving and going elsewhere is better for the student and it's not harmful, I think you can maybe make an allowance. There are always situations and circumstances when it comes to why someone transfers. I don't think one size fits all is really what we're looking at here when it comes to what maybe the WVSSAC. But I think the organization itself should maybe have a little bit more say and make the rules uniform and consistent. 304-396-TALK is the text line, 304-396-8255. That's the number to be a part of the program here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So we'll find out where you fall on that. We've got the Marshall football schedule to talk about, and, of course, Conference USA doing Conference USA things again. We'll get into all of that when we continue on this edition of Your Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
When it comes to your money, you want a bank that's built to last. KFB, the Better Bank, is proud to be your hometown community bank, serving neighbors, not numbers. We're here for all your financial needs today and well into the future. So So if you're looking for a bank that's committed for the long haul, check out our Wheelersburg location today. KFB, the better bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Kindred Communications is proud to welcome WSAZ to our family of stations. When you listen to your favorite Kindred station, you'll hear the trusted voices from WSAZ you know, with the WSAZ First Alert, forecast, and the latest news. WSAZ and Kindred Communications, working together for the Tri-State.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Choosing a healthcare career can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. For years, Collins Career Technical Center and Mount West Community and Technical College have worked together to guide students through their respiratory therapy and radiologic technology programs. You start at Mount West, then move to hands-on training at Collins. Graduate with an associate degree and industry credentials. Backed by a team committed to your success. Learn more at collins-cc.edu.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back. It is your Friday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We'll get your text in just a few moments. Get those lined up now. We've got football schedules to talk about. Of course, the Thundering Herd releasing its schedule today because Conference USA released its schedule yesterday. And so that prompted the Sun Belt probably to release its schedule today. Or it was scheduled. Whatever the case may be, the Sun Belt releases its schedule. ESPN and the Sun Belt have kind of figured out what it's going to do as far as opportunities for television across the league. And so the Sun Belt releases a schedule, but it was sort of a stealth bombing last night. The Conference USA schedule just released. No fanfare whatsoever. Again, the Sun Belt at least putting some energy into it. Conference USA just doing Conference USA things. And in the middle is Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech trying to get out of this thing and has informed Conference USA, look, we're not going to be here. We're trying to negotiate with you. We're trying to figure out how we can go about this here. Of course, there's always going to be give and take. There's always going to be push and pull here. But Conference USA just decided, no, you know what? Here's our schedule. You're on it. We'll see you. And then the Sun Belt releasing its schedule because this whole thing was holding up. And I'm sure in some form there's a schedule, Conference USA, without Louisiana Tech, and there's a schedule in the Sun Belt without Louisiana Tech right now. So if you haven't seen this yet, Louisiana Tech's scheduled to play 20 games. Wouldn't that be something? The first team to play 20 games in the regular season. I miss those days of JV squads. I would have just sent the JV squad to all the Conference USA schools and said, here, all right, we're here. This is Louisiana Tech. Let's play. But here's the schedule. Louisiana Tech has got Northwestern State on September 5th, and then at LSU on September 12th, and then at Baylor on September 19th. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Conference USA has a game with Louisiana Tech against Middle Tennessee on September 26th. And then both schedules have October 3rd with Army. So the first deviation is Middle Tennessee. That's a Conference USA game. And then on October 8th, at Florida International, that is a Conference USA game. And then on October 10th, Louisiana Tech's got to just turn right around and play Louisiana Tech, October 10th, 2 days after the Florida International game in Conference USA. And then on the 14th, it's Louisiana Tech playing Missouri State in Conference USA. And then it's got to turn right around and go at ULM on the 17th in the Sun Belt. And then at Liberty on the 21st in Conference USA. And then turn right around in October 24th, it's got to play Old Dominion in Sun Belt. October 28th, it's got to play Kennesaw State in Conference USA. And then on October 31st, it is at South Alabama. That is a Sun Belt game. And then on November 7th, it's got to play 2 games. I don't know if they're going to play at the same time, how this is going to work, but on November 7th, it's Louisiana Tech at Jacksonville State. That is a Conference USA game. And then at Troy, and that is a Sun Belt game. So Louisiana Tech's on the road twice. November 14th, it'll be Louisiana Tech and Southern Miss. That is a Sun Belt game. And then we just don't know, November 19th, 20th, or 21st, it'll be Arkansas State. That's a Sun Belt game. Then November 21st, a Conference USA game against Delaware. And then on November 28th, double booked again at Western Kentucky in Conference USA, at Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt. This thing is just going to get ludicrous, isn't it? Completely bonkers. The good news is that Louisiana Tech is not on the Marshall schedule. So whatever happens, unless something gets rearranged and Marshall has to adjust its schedule, but I feel pretty confident that if something happens, it's not going to impact the programs that do not have Louisiana Tech on the schedule. And so the Thundering Herd schedule looks like this. We've got the Marshall game on the road September 5th at Penn State, going up to Happy Valley. And then September 12th, it's Marshall versus Middle Tennessee. That is a non-conference game, not one of those double book games or anything. That is a non-conference game. And then on September 19th, at Missouri State. So Marshall already with 2 Conference USA games. And then on September 26th, it's going to be the Herd versus Gardner-Webb. And then October 3rd, we get into conference play. Marshall will be at JMU. On October 10th, Marshall will play host to Coastal Carolina. October 20th, we're playing on a Tuesday, kids. Marshall and South Alabama at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. So playing on a Tuesday. And then on October 31st, it'll be Marshall at Old Dominion. October 31st at Old Dominion. Whew. That's going to be a Halloween night, isn't it? November 7th, it'll be at Georgia Southern for the Herd. November 14th, that is the 75 game, and that's going to be against App State. That's important. Marshall playing on November 14th, actually playing on the day, and playing a program like App State. I think that's good scheduling there. Absolutely. On top of it, whoever came up with the schedule this year, and make sure that the 75 game was going to be played as close to or on the date, and of course it just worked out it's this way. On November 14th, it's going to be played against App State. App State's a program that will get it. App State's a program that has history with the Herd, so that's a good opponent. And then November 21st, it'll be Marshall and Georgia State, again, Jones C. Edwards Stadium. And then the Herd on the road, November 28th at ULM. Now, there's some themes to these games. The game against Middle Tennessee is the September 12th game. It's going to be the We Are Marshall game. So wear green. Wear green. Not white, not pink, not turquoise, Not cream. Green. All right. Off the soapbox. September 26th against Gardner-Webb. That's homecoming. And that is going to be the helmet stripe, the Joan. Let's see that look cool, okay? Helmet stripe, the Joan. Let's see that look cool. And if it doesn't look cool, I'm going to rail against it next year. So let's see that look good. Wear the color you're assigned. If you would, please. You don't have to. I'm not going to really chastise you for it, but it would look cool if you did. So could you please? The game against Coastal Carolina is the We Are Herd Strong game. The game against South Alabama on October 20th is the Herd House Party. The November 14th game is a game where you wear black. Of course, that's the 75 game. We are playing for the 75. And then the November 21st game versus Georgia State is the Salute to Service. Wear white. Again, green for Middle Tennessee, white for Georgia State. Your assigned color for the stripe, the Joan, black on November 14th. And then I don't even know what you want to wear to the house party. So, follow all the social medias to kind of get an idea of what you wear. So what stands out to you on this schedule? And, of course, we knew the non-conference portion, so that's not a surprise to anyone here. First up, Penn State. That's going to be a tough one, obviously. Middle Tennessee and Missouri State. I like this Missouri State series. I thought this was a good program when Marshall played it last year. I like it. It's newer. You have an opportunity here to really maybe get something going in Missouri State. Maybe you can do this. This will be a first-time road trip for the Herd fans that if you've never ventured to a Missouri State game, this will be a first time. So it's going somewhere different. I'm okay with that. Again, I'm not in love with the Middle Tennessee game. I would have rather had like a Western Kentucky here. You're playing Missouri State, and that's a new opponent, and you played them last year, and I'm good with that. I like it. It's something different, and it's the 1-1. You come here, and then you go there, and you get to go experience a different game day somewhere, and that's cool. I like that. I'm always for, hey, something new. Middle Tennessee, come on. If you're going to pick schools from the previous conferences you've been in, pick a school that maybe you have something a little bit more with, or try to find something. This was a scheduling quirk of the previous administration, the previous athletic director. Remember when Christian Spears said we're going to book destination games? Games that are destinations, we're booking those. And then you had Middle Tennessee on the schedule. So I wasn't a big fan of that then. I'm not a big fan of that one now. Gardner-Webb, that's homecoming. You know what that's about. And then the conference schedule. And, of course, the conference schedule is always going to be tough. I mean, you get to see South Alabama. That's going to be cool. Even if it's on a Tuesday. And that's probably the big question for me is, and, of course, when we'll get closer to it, we'll have a better idea. But, are you down for a Tuesday game? Are you ready for a Tuesday game? Will Herd fans show up on a Tuesday night to watch the Thundering Herd play a football game? Will you adjust your schedule? Will you be able to maybe, for fans that are out of town, unless you're taking some time off, that's not going to be as easy. Unless if you're employed, you can't take off. It's not like a Saturday or Friday you can leave and you can head to the game if you're coming from somewhere outside of the immediate area. Are you going to show up for that one for South Alabama, or are you just going to watch that one on TV? And, of course, the App State game, that's going to be an important game for the 75, obviously. You got Georgia Southern and App State back-to-back. That's going to be a fun – November is going to be fun because of Georgia Southern. And then, of course, App State. We'll see what ULM's about come the end of the year. We'll see what Georgia State's about. But I like it. You're starting off with JMU in the conference. Just kind of get an idea of, like, okay, where are you at? Game 1 in conference. And then close to the end, you've got Georgia Southern, App State. I wish that you could figure out a consistent opponent to end the year with every year. I'd like to have like a fixture on the schedule. Like, okay, this is the game. This is our biggest rival in the league. And so I don't know if you could single out, if you can get two schools to agree. Because I think really, especially in the East, all teams hate each other equally and get after each other equally. And that's what makes it fun. It's like one week it's getting after folks at Georgia Southern. Next week it's getting after App State. And it's fun. And, of course, you throw in Coastal, you throw in JMU. It's fun. I actually like this division. So I hope it stays this way for a long time. Football is more fun for me than basketball, but the football side of this has been pretty fun. Our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So what's your reaction to the schedule? Pretty standard, right? We kind of knew what was going to happen. Just waiting for the league to release it. We knew the non-conference side. Penn State, that's going to be a road trip, obviously. And Missouri State, that'll be a fun one for, I'm sure, a lot of people, first time there. Gardner-Webb is what it is. It's a homecoming game. You schedule it, you win, you feel good. And then there's some other things as well. I don't want to forget this. There's some other things happening with the Thundering Herd game day experience. And I'm sure we'll get Ryan Crisp or someone from his team on sometime here in the near future and in one of our scheduled visits to kind of go over some of these things. But obviously, we talked to Emily Suter the other day. The Dutch Miller deck is back, and the cost per ticket there is $2,500. And you can reach out to Emily there, emily.suter@marshall.edu. It's in the release if you want a quick way to get a hold of her. But so you can get that unlimited food and drink, cost per ticket $2,500. Also, there's going to be a family price concession stand number 12. And that's going to be $2 hot dogs and popcorn along with $5 pretzels and nachos. Now, I love popcorn. So I'm good. But hey, I got some popcorn. I'm going to watch the game. I'm cool. $2 hot dogs, I think that'll go well. I'm sure I'll get a review from somebody, and it'll either be the greatest thing, it'll be a glowing review, or somebody will tell me, oh, this is terrible. These hot dogs are terrible. So I don't know the deal on the hot dogs just yet. But I think that, look, if you've got a family of four, I know that's the generic term for everything. Hey, we got a family of four here, and so let's just say everybody wants a couple hot dogs. So $4 per person, $32. And of course you're gonna want to drink, so that's gonna go up a little bit there. Or you get some pretzels or you get some nachos there. Look, hey, we're gonna share the nachos, so let's get a couple of nachos here. But those are the kind of things that I think Marshall needs to do in the athletic department to really cater to all price points. $2 hot dogs. I mean, I would love going to the ballpark and get the dollar dogs because I didn't feel like I was breaking the wallet. The bank was not getting broken into that day because, hey, look, I got a ticket. Okay, maybe I'm sitting up here in the upper decks because I just want to see the game and I want to watch the game, and I'm cool with the upper deck. And now I am kind of hungry here. I'm going to be here for a few hours. Let's go get a couple dollar dogs. Dollar dogs, get the ketchup, mustard, apply it yourself there. I'm good. Absolutely. So this is cool. I think that's really a good start for the athletic department to really focus on making sure that there are some family options for a lot of people. And so the $2 hot dogs, the popcorn, that's going to be a good price point there. I'd like to know more about as far as, what kind of concessions. I mean, it's not like we're trying to do what other schools are and just like give the food away. You still have to make some money, and I get that. But I like that. That's a good thing. And of course, if you want that experience, you can get the Dutch Miller deck. I'm still waiting for the party deck. I know that's got to come down the line, but I'm still waiting for the party deck or something done with the scoreboard side you can do more there. 304-396-TALK. Again, 304-396-8255 is our text line to be a part of today's show. We'll go over the schedule with you some more. What do you think about it? You like who you got to see this year? And, of course, this whole Louisiana Tech thing, how insane has this gotten so far? It's kind of ludicrous, and I'm here for it. We'll break it down further when we continue on this edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Here's another Kindred Communications community chatter. Marshall University's Institute for Cybersecurity opening registration for CyberCon 2026, an annual 3-day cybersecurity conference, March 25th through 27th at the Doubletree by Hilton in Huntington. To register or learn more about the conference, visit marshall.edu/cyber-cybercon.
This Kindred Communications community chatter brought to you by Ohio Valley Bank, dedicated to giving you the financial answers you deserve. Ohio Valley Bank, member FDIC.
The Skin Rejuvenation Center at 1280 Dogwood Ridge, Wheelersburg, with 31 years of skincare expertise, offers a range of skin-focused treatments and services to enhance skin health. Services include facials, chemical peels, LED, radio frequency, microneedling, full-body LED, contour, body sculpting, and more. Heal and rejuvenate your skin from the inside out. Before you fill it or freeze it, you have to fix it. Call for a consultation today at 740-574-5400.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
More text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And we're going to hear from Boogie Trotter in just a couple of minutes. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. I'm your host, Paul Swann. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's go back to the text line. We've been talking about this Marshall schedule and a little bit about Louisiana Tech. Of course, the Herd's got a Tuesday night game, and that's what the texter wants to say. I don't like weeknight football games, but God willing, I will be there. Go Herd. All right, vote of confidence. I don't like it, but I'll be there. Tuesday night, how difficult is that going to be for? I mean, I know it's early right now. It's March. You don't know what you're going to do. You're months away. But at least you can plan now, because they're not going to change that. It's not going to be one of those where they're going to change. That's locked. Tuesday night, you're playing, and you got football, and it's in Huntington. What are you going to do? I think a lot of people will mumble a little bit, I don't like this, and then go. At least it's not every year. It's not like it's Maction, which some people love. It's not like it's Conference USA and you're just playing the entirety of your November on silly, non-traditional nights here. It's once in a while, right? It's okay. You can do it. Do it for the league. Take one for the league and do this game, and then you be off the hook for a couple of years. Yeah, do another one. Yeah, we got to rotate you in. But you do this, and you're good for a while, and you don't have to worry about it. I'm just curious, what gets factored into this? I know the television package is the real reason here, but what's the attendance going to look like? How damaging is a Tuesday night game to what you usually bring in monetarily for a regular traditional day? If it was a Friday night, I get it. I'd be okay with it a little bit more. If it's a Thursday night, okay, there's games that are being played on Thursday. I get it. That's fine. But Tuesday night? I'm not going to pull a Doc Holliday and go, hey, we're the only game on TV. Everybody's going to be tuned in, going to be watching the herd. I'm not going to pull a Doc Holliday on you here. I don't know how many people are going to be actually tuning in. I know it's content and programming for ESPN. That's why you do it, and that's part of the TV package. But, I don't know if that's just going to be a huge attraction on a weeknight Tuesday. I could be wrong, and we'll see what the numbers look like ratings-wise. But I think it hurts the fans a little bit that actually would come to a game if it was a traditional game. If it was a Saturday game, I'm sure a lot more people would be there instead of a weeknight game. And again, some people, that's not going to be even any issues. Like, okay, it's Tuesday night, let's go. I'm ready. And there are some folks that go to games and they're pretty affluent and they don't have to worry about showing up to work like the rest of us on a normal Wednesday work day. But for a lot of people, it might be I can go watch a little bit of it. I can be there. Okay, I can tailgate. Cool. And then I got to go. It's a weeknight. It's a school night. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I promised you Boogie Trotter yesterday. And, of course, he spoke at Pro Day a couple of days ago. He's really being considered as a potential NFL draft pick. And Boogie talked yesterday about, or the day before, he talked at his Pro Day just about, how blessed he was to be back at Marshall, be able to have an event like this.
It's a great opportunity, since being a little kid, wanting to make it to Pro Day, even having a blessing to make it to Pro Day. I feel like that was a great experience. I feel like I did great, did well, been training since like January. So I just feel like I took all my training and came and put it in the drill and stuff. So I think I did well.
What goes into that process, pre-draft, workouts and all that stuff? Just walk me through a day.
Really just a lot of time. Like you got to do a lot of time management and you got to be a pro really, having to work out in the morning, speed training in the morning, lift weights, having to make sure you're eating, make sure you stand up weight. So it's really a lot that goes into it, but it's really not hard when you've been a pro and been training as a pro since you was like at the beginning of college.
You talk about, just coming to Marshall and your journey to this point now, how it's impressive for a lot of people. Will you just talk a little bit about that journey a little bit?
The journey was a blessing. It was a hard, bumpy journey, but it was a blessing. Like being able to go through the challenges and all the obstacles I had to overcome, it built me to be who I am right now. And who I am today, like any problem I face, I feel like I can come over it. Just being able to go through all my problems I've been through on my journey. And then Marshall also helped me too. Like it helped me a lot. Just being the man I am right now and learning how to be more of a pro at a higher level. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like all that really is a blessing. My journey been hard, but I wouldn't change none of it.
Where did you train?
I trained back. I was in Denver at first, up there at Elite Speed, and then I went back home to X3. I was training at X3. But Coach Coop now, Coach Vic, shout out them boys.
When you think of your Marshall experience, you come in and everybody didn't know what to expect, but you came onto the scene quickly and established yourself as a leader. How important was it from a leadership role to take you to the next level?
It was a big, important role as a leader, especially being in the corners room, like being one of the guys that people look up to. It was like I have to carry myself a certain way, and I had to be a certain way. But I knew people on the team before this that was leaders like Legs, Monroe, Beard, in different ways. I took all that and just put it into one. Like, you ain't just got to be a leader because you play. Like, you can be a leader with not getting as many snaps. It's just how you carry yourself and the standard that you hold yourself to. And I feel like I had to up my standard when I came in to be a leader, and I feel like I did that and try to help the room the best I could.
When you look at, the season ends and you all go your separate ways to try and train and make it to that next level, how fun is it to get back with your guys? A lot of these guys you came in with last year, they were a similar scenario to you, and get to see those guys, get to see your brothers.
Man, it was good to see my brothers. Like, I've been keeping up with guys. Like, we've been texting and stuff. Cam Smith, Marvay, a couple of the guys, Todd is out there. A lot of us been keeping in touch, because once we got here, we was a brotherhood. A lot of us was new faces. So it was like we built the bond like brothers. So, like, just keeping up with them and being able to come back and showcase it all together, like, no competition. We just all out here trying to get paid. It was a blessing. I had fun seeing my guys, too.
You go through so many different teammates growing up, and all these different coaches. They kind of molded you into the player you become today. Kind of speak about what they've been to your journey and kind of how they've molded you to who you are.
Man, they molded me in ways that they don't even know. I had not a lot of coaches when I was little, but coming into high school, I stayed with the same coaches. My college, my first set of coaches, Coach McNutt, Coach Fisher, them guys, they helped me become a better man coming from 17, graduating at 17 and going into college. Even when I got up here, Coach Gibson, Coach Holly, guys like those, they give you lessons off the field that you can take and put into any real world problems. And like, that helped with a lot. Like, some people don't even know how to face problems, but being coached like that, to be able to face problems off the field, they care about you off the field. I feel like I was blessed with a whole bunch of coaches that cared about me since I've been playing ball. So that's really, like, they helped me a lot. A lot of them was some like a father figure too, but I have my father too, but it's like they teach me lessons also when I'm with them, because I'm with them most of the time because I love football and stuff. But I feel like it was a few. Coach Bernetti, I can name him, Coach Bernetti, Coach Fish, Coach McNutt, even my little league coach, Coach Mike, all those guys, Coach George. It's a lot. I can keep going on, but I feel like I put all their personalities and all the problems that they face that they helped me learn. I put all that into me, and it helped me carry myself how I do today.
What was the biggest emphasis of your training from the offseason? Okay, season ends. You know you've put up the numbers. You know you've put up good film. What was the next step for Boogie Trotter?
It was my next step was really just being who I was when I left the field. Make sure that you come back the same guy that they seen last time they seen you on tape. Also, like, as being an undersized DB, like, make sure in the weight room and stuff that we act overly strong. We do good and change direction, because that's what DBs need and stuff like that. So those was really my main focus. Everything else gonna take care of itself. But like what I just said, the bench press and like the 5, 10, 5s and all that, that was my main focus. And I feel like I did good on them today. Yeah.
End of the day, you have to pick one thing about your game or anything else that you could sell to a team of why they should pick you up. What would it?
It'll be me being a ball. If we need the ball, I'm gonna go get it for us. Like, that's on tape. Like, it ain't just coming out my mouth. You can go on tape and watch it. Like, any way I need to get the ball, forced fumbles, fumble recovery, pin missile, anything, even my strong suit, intercepting the ball. I'm trying to take it and go score. We're gonna get the ball in good field position if you pick me up, for sure.
There you have it. Pick me up. I'm gonna get the ball. We're going to put you in good position. That's Boogie Trotter. Hopefully he will hear his name during the NFL draft. We will take your text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicky Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing provides your home with the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors to enhance your home's appearance. Available in cut-to-length panels that cover a large area for a fast installation. Shop our selection of roofing products today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Baseball is back. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 will be bringing the action of America's game to you all summer. First up, the Marshall Thundering Herd as they try to unseat national NCAA runner-up Coastal Carolina in the powerful Sun Belt Conference. Then it's the resurgent Pittsburgh Pirates with a new roster and a new attitude, setting their sights on playoff contention. Baseball is more than a game, it's a lifestyle, and you'll find it all here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Grab the mic and bring the fun to the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Introducing Mike Night at the Marshall Cafe, our brand new karaoke night. It's the first Saturday of every month from 9 to 11. Whether you're a total superstar or a shower singer who just loves to have fun, this night is for you. Sing loud, laugh hard, and make a night of it at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Mike Night, where everyone's a headliner at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe on the corner of Fun and 3rd Avenue across from Pullman Square.
It's the annual Kiwanis Pancake Festival. You've enjoyed it as a child. Now it's time to share the Pancake Festival with your entire family. Some Kiwanis members have served pancakes for over 50 years. Pancake Patty will be a hit with the kids. Let's get together on Saturday, March 21st from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the New Baptist Church on 28th Street in Huntington. More raffles, more fun, and you can win a $500 gift card from TikTok Tire. Advanced tickets are available at community retailers or at the door. Plan to spend Saturday, March 21st at the annual Kiwanis Pancake Festival, Huntington's favorite family reunion.
Ready to kick off your next home project? Get a head start at the WSAZ Home and Garden Show. We'll be there with the experts to answer your home improvement questions. And we're doing something new and taking our studio on the road. We'll deliver your news and weather live from the show. Come join us, see what's new, get inspired for spring, and leave with ideas you can use right away. Everything you're looking for, all under one roof. The WSAZ Home and Garden Show, March 13th, 14th, and 15th at Marshall Health Network Arena.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue with your Friday edition. The text line is open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back. Paul Swann, your host for this edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've got baseball action this weekend starting tonight, 6 o'clock at Jack Cook Field. It's the Herd taking on Georgia State. We'll have the game tomorrow for you. It's going to be a 3:50 airtime. Ben Westfall will have all the play-by-play action. It's our Saturday showcase. The Herd taking on Georgia State. That is set for tomorrow. 4 o'clock first pitch right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So let's get back to that text line before we call it a day. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter writes in and says, couldn't Marshall refuse the Tuesday night game? I don't know if Marshall would. I appreciate the text. I don't know if Marshall would refuse the Tuesday night game. It's a television game. You look at the schedule. And I'm sure that a lot of heads up was given, like, look, okay, this is kind of what we're looking at here. This is sort of where we're going with the schedule. This is what ESPN's wanting to do. They see this game as one that it would like to have on its schedule. And so you don't rattle too many cages. You don't rock the boat too much there. It's just one of those things where it's not as bad as the MAC, which has become an institution upon itself. People seem to gravitate towards MACtion. Not me, but people. I know you know those people. But you look at some of the games on TV, the stadiums are empty. The stands are not full at all. It looks like it's a high school game on an off night. Well, you know what? I've seen high school games have a lot more people than some of these MACtion games have. And, of course, same thing with Conference USA. And with the Sun Belt, I don't want to see the Sun Belt descend. I want the Sun Belt, since it's going to be in football mid-major status, non-power status, and, of course, that club is shrinking. It's really the Power 2 and the really good 3 and 4, and then everybody else. I don't want to see this league descend into an also-ran. I don't want to see this league falter and become what Conference USA has become. Now, there are some good teams and some good programs going on in Conference USA. Let's not trash the thing. But at the same time, I think there's more potential in the Sun Belt than there is in Conference USA. And if the league can play it right, make some smart decisions, support the programs, if the programs move forward, make good decisions, I think you have a solid league here. Of course, I don't know if we're going to see any more expansion anytime soon. And if that's the case, Marshall's got to position itself to be among the teams that are looked at in any expansion scenario. And again, I think years ago, if everything was true, Marshall could have gotten into the Big East, and that could have been a springboard towards something else at the time. And that's why I want to see Marshall at least make the right decisions, do things that increase fan attendance, also try to maximize revenue the best way you possibly can, get wins on the field. Obviously, that's going to help a lot of things for this, and continue to upgrade facilities. And I don't know how possible that's going to be with the new landscape, name, image, and likeness. Of course, you've got opportunities to pay athletes now. You're going to have to figure out the revenue situation. And, of course, the university is going to be sued for Title IX violations. We'll see how well that plays out, if the swim and diving program is going to at least temporarily be saved, and what's that going to cost the university. What will it mean for the expansion of other women's opportunities like stunt, or will Marshall continue and move forward with that? I don't know the answers right now, but of course all ties into trying to fund football and then the other sports. And that's going to do it for this edition. Back with you on Monday. We're going to have a short week next week. We got March Madness coming up, Selection Sunday, and then after Selection Sunday, we'll get going with all the games in Dayton on Tuesday. Work our way up to the round of 64. We're basically your Thursday, your Friday. It's going to be all-day basketball. And if you can't watch it, of course, we've got you covered. Just lock your radio, lock your app right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Have a great weekend, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.